Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ. And Scott Tyree has been a guy on my radar that I've been kind of keeping a close eye on because he makes don't get me wrong, he makes a lot of tackles and he's good at tackling, but the thing is, he's just not aware of things on the field. He gives up a lot of first downs because he lets people run past him or he takes wrong angles. I mean, he's always making like little crucial mistakes that may cost us in games, like giving up, quarterback on a third down, letting a quarterback scramble for a first. So I decided to make a change. I mean, he has 26 tackles, 2 pass deflections, but we have a freshman cornerback, Anthony Jeter, who's been sitting behind him. He hasn't even touched the field yet. As you can see, no tackles, no stats, no nothing. But if you look at his ratings, the only thing that concerns me, he has a lower block shed, lower pursuit, 61, but that play recognition is so high, 82. And look at the man coverage difference, 82 to 59, and the zone. The zone is 79 zone to 63 for Tyree. But other than that, I mean, they're pretty equal as far as overall goes. But I kind of just want to give Anthony Jeter a chance. The only thing I am concerned about is his awareness as well. I mean, 33 awareness at strong safety. I mean, that is just like horrible. I mean, so horrible. But Scott Tyree's got 51 awareness. No wonder why he gives up so many big plays. So I'm actually going to make this switch before this game and see where it lands me, because I need to try something, because right now I'm not getting any real production. But if you look at the rest of our guys, Josh Dunbar, he actually can play a little safety. The rest of these guys, I mean, they're just not, even my running back Keon Singleton can play defense. So I mean, to me it looks like Jeter is our best option here. We do have Goss, who played last year, but hey, I'm willing to give the freshman a chance, Anthony Jeter, to see what he can do on the field, and maybe he just impresses. So we're going into this next matchup. We're 5-1 in conference play, going up against Memphis. They are a B-rated team. We're favored in this game, mainly because of our offense. We have a higher powered offense than they do. But look at our turnover differential, 8. I mean, we are -8 in turnover differential. And that's the thing, we don't get any turnover. So hopefully Jeter, being a high zone, high man, I can play more man coverage. I can play more, I can blitz a lot more because he can cover zones a lot better. But I mean, just looking at Memphis, they lost to Army, lost to Navy back to back, and they didn't lose too bad to UCLA, only by 2 touchdowns it looks like. But if you look at their leaders, they have a decent quarterback, 7 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Not much of a running game. I mean, he has 386 yards rushing, but I mean, they're probably going to be spreading the ball out, passing. So let's hop into this game. Going up against Memphis. Are we at home? Let's see. Are we at home? Yeah, we're at home. So we're on our home field, and we play a lot better at home. I mean, it's proven we play a lot better at home. So let's get into it. Let's go.
So starting out this game with the ball, remember, our team does a lot better when we actually kick the ball to start the game. So we're starting out at home though, and we've been kind of in a groove at home. So we just need to start out these games playing good defense, especially going into conference play, getting into the nitty-gritty of conference play, because we got to win these games. These are must-win games, and Memphis is going to be no slouch. So here we go. Starting out this game with the ball, getting past the 50-yard line, but on a 3rd and 13, Ashton Cohen rolling out to the right. I probably missed a wide-open guy across the middle for the first down, but instead I don't see him. Throw it away and punt the ball away to the Memphis defense, and Memphis takes back over. And Holloway, I mean, Marcus Holloway, he's definitely a guy we got to watch for with his legs, and he finds Williams across the middle up to the 35-yard line. And remember, Memphis had Paxton Lynch a couple years ago. They have Holloway this year, and they're definitely a team that spreads the ball out. They have nice running quarterbacks, so that's definitely going to be an element to their game. So we do get them to kick for 4th and 8 field goal, and that one's going to be wide to the left. So the Marquette Golden Eagles take over, giving the ball to Alex Brown. Alex Brown putting on a move on the safety that time. So on a 2nd and 10, play action to Alex Brown, throw into the left side. Eddie McCray is open for the nice 16-yard gain. So here we go, 1st and 10 past the 50-yard line. Chad Ball finally getting involved in the passing game from a pass Nice pass from Cohen that time. So on a 2nd and 1, another play action, rolling out right, throwing deep to Ben Miller, and Ben Miller gets the ball across the goal line into the end zone for the touchdown. And you know what's funny is that, man, I thought this ball was going to be picked, but what nice placement by Ashton Cohen on that one. So it's 7-0 early in this game, and Holloway rolling out to the right, and he's getting 7 yards on that one. So on a 2nd and 3, giving it to Henderson, and Henderson breaks the tackle that time by Cohen, gets up to the 45-yard line. So on a 2nd and 5 now to the 50-yard line. Marcus Holloway's going to have all day, but he's going to try to run out, and he can't get away from the tackle that time. Tackle by Kingsley Miller. So on a 3rd and 12, Holloway is going to have another clean pocket, but this time he's going to find Coxey on the sideline that time. So now Holloway's putting together a couple of good throws, but this time he can't get away from Ali Christian on the outside. Actually, that's Lewis Parker coming up with his first sack for the game. And why would they attempt to kick another field goal after missing a shorter field goal? But hey, I mean, oh well, whatever the CPU wants, they can do, because I'm okay with that decision. So here we go, 4th and 1. We get the ball back, and you know me, man, I'm taking all kinds of risks with, especially since I got Alex Brown. If Glenn Hall was in on that play, I probably wouldn't have went for it, but I believe in Alex Brown to the fullest. So here we go, getting past the 35-yard line on a screen pass. Now it's a 3rd and 12, 3rd and long, and Cohen's gonna roll out to the left, avoid a tackler, but he's gonna get sacked. Actually, no yard gain on that one, so we're going to settle for a long field goal, but we have the leg to do it, and we get it done. So it is 10-0 early on in this game. So now we're towards the beginning of the 2nd quarter, 5 minutes left, and Marcus Holloway is going to find an open lane, get to the 1st down marker for a 2nd and inches. So on a 3rd and 2, he doesn't get the first, but we get him stopped. Darrell Henderson gets tackled that time behind the line. So now we force the punt, and Cohen, I mean, he's been doing pretty good these last couple of drives. So this time rolling out a 1st and 10, giving it to Ben Miller. Ben Miller just straight destroys the corner on that one. And Cohen, what a nice throw, running out of bounds, throws a dime to Ben Miller. And here we are, 3 minutes left in the 2nd quarter, throwing deep. Herman Rogers beats the corner on that one, in perfect placement that time by Ashton Cohen for the touchdown. And that's 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, which is a good sign, because we know Cohen's had some problems throwing interceptions. So here's Marcus Holloway feeling the pressure, throws the ball away on that one. So facing a 3rd and 10, they're running verticals, throwing the ball deep. Kamara Rivera comes up with the deflection on that one. Probably should have been a pick. So the offense of Marquette comes back out, and we are just rolling, and the offense continues to roll on the swing pass to Alex Brown, getting a 40-yard gain. So now 2 minutes left in this half. Cohen's going to roll out right, and no pressure is going to be in his way, but he runs forward, gets pushed out of bounds. 8-yard gain that time. So on a 2nd and 1, 2 minutes left, Alex Brown getting the handoff up the middle, but he fumbles, but luckily our lineman recovers on that one. So now 1st and goal inside the 5-yard line. Alex Brown gets the handoff up the middle for the 4-yard touchdown run. It is 24-0 here in the 2nd quarter, and this Marquette defense, Anthony Jeter is making an impact, and you can just tell because Marcus Holloway isn't going to have any receivers open on any of these plays, and I credit that a lot to Anthony Jeter because he can play a lot of man coverage, he can play zone coverage, and he's definitely making an impact because look, I mean, look at the guys open that he's throwing to. I mean, these guys got to be wide open. If there's a zone coverage that Jetter's on, look, he's covering deep zones, he's covering flats over the middle, he's covering all these zones, and usually zones that, you know, they can throw to when I had my other freshman in, but Anthony Jetter's definitely filling in a nice role. So on a 3rd and 9, towards the end of the half, Holloway attempts to run one more time, but Lewis Parker is there for his 3rd sack of the game. So they settle for the field goal, but this time they do make it. So it is 24-3 to start the second half, and they do start out with the ball. Henderson getting the ball, getting a nice 7-yard gain to start the second half, but on a 2nd and 3, once again giving it back to Henderson, and he's moving the chains one more time. So Holloway, I mean, if he can't throw the ball, I mean, he's trying to run it. Look, he's running around the pocket, trying to get outside that time. He breaks a tackle, breaks a couple of tackles, and gets tackled that time on the outside. So facing a 3rd and 6, Holloway is going to throw deep this time. Josh Dunbar is going to let a receiver get behind him. That's Coxie one more time for a 44-yard reception. So facing a 3rd and 4 inside the 5-yard line. Holloway beats Cohen on the outside that time. Cohen can't get to him, and Holloway runs in for the touchdown, and that was a much-needed touchdown for the Memphis Tigers. And look at that, running right past them, and they get on the board. So it is still a 2-possession lead for the Marquette Golden Eagles. But on 3rd and 10, they're sending some pressure, and that one's going to be deflected, and they're gonna force another punt. So here we go. Marcus Holloway dropping back to pass one more time, and we're forcing him to throw the ball this time, and he can't get it done. So I mean, if he can't run the ball, he can't pass the ball. I mean, we're doing a pretty good job on offense. And here we go, 2nd and 10. Cohen finding Ben Miller, the freshman tight end, over the middle. So Cohen on a 3rd and 1 is going to find Oliver, another freshman, Kevin Oliver. What a slot guy he's been. I'm telling you, he's not much of a speed guy, but he just finds a way to get open. So on a 1st and 10 this time, Ashton Cohen's going to roll out to the right, have an open lane, get a couple of blocks, and he's going to run out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. So Cohen actually has 35 yards rushing in this game. Usually he's in the negatives because he gets sacked, but this game he's having a pretty good game running the ball, and Alex Brown finishes off the drive, getting into the end zone, and that 2-possession lead is up to 3 possessions now on the run by Brown. And Marcus Holloway has some ground to make up, but they're just giving the ball to Henderson, and Henderson is getting stuffed this time, that time by Lewis Parker. So on a 3rd and 10, forcing Holloway to throw the ball, and look at that, he can't even hit his crossing tight end on that one. So we do force another punt. That time Anthony Jeter was in on the blitz, but on the next possession, Alex Brown gets hit pretty hard, fumbles the ball. And that's the thing, Alex Brown doesn't have high carrying, so it's not a surprise to see him fumble. He does take a lot of chances because he breaks a lot of tackles, because his elusiveness is at 95, so you know he's gonna break a lot of tackles. But that's the trade-off, is that if you break a lot of tackles, you're more susceptible to a fumble. So here we go. I mean, back on defense, Anthony Jeter giving up the long pass on that one, but Holloway, I mean, he's doing a good job leading these drives, but he gives it to Henderson, and Henderson is just carrying this offense right now. And that's been our Achilles heel on this Marquette defense, is giving up too many running plays, too many long running plays, too many yards to running backs. But I mean, hey, if we can stop the pass, I'm kind of okay with giving up run plays that are not breaking away for 50-yard gains. But if we give up a 10-yard gain here and there, I'm okay with it. Because, I mean, we can't be perfect in all areas. If we have to be good in one area and okay in another, I'm fine with that, because remember, we're still rated like 20 points lower than every team we're going to face in this dynasty. So back on offense, Ashton Cohen gets sacked that time. So now it's a 2nd and 26. Sometimes I do drop back too far with Cohen, but that pressure, I mean, our offensive line, remember, is so bad. I mean, right away. I mean, if you look at this, look at their guys are in right away. So on a 3rd and 17, rolling out to the right, trying to find Ben Miller, but that time we cannot find him. So we do settle for the long field goal, and that one's going to be through the upright. So now we are on to the 4th quarter, 5 minutes left. Marcus Holloway is going to drop back to pass, and we're going to get some pressure that time by Ali Christian, getting in for his 2nd sack of the game, and we forced them to punt the ball away. So Cohen just trying to add some points, put some cushion in between us and Memphis, and he's finding Oliver that time on the fake end around. He gets open, and you know what? If he would have threw that farther, that was probably a touchdown, but nonetheless, Ben Miller gets open. And I mean, he's unguardable. I mean, at this point, man, he is just unguardable. Put him in man coverage. a linebacker on him. I mean, that's guaranteed money. And that time it was actually a corner, and Ben Miller gets open. But that's going to do it for this game. 44-17. What a big victory by the Marquette Golden Eagles. And we take care of business at home. That's what we want. We need to just beat these lower teams. We need to take care of the higher teams because, I mean, our defense is finally starting to come around. Anthony Jeter, I'm telling you, he definitely made an impact. He only had 3 tackles, 1 sack, but you can tell in zone coverage, he basically forced quarterbacks to not throw his way. And that is a good thing because if we got Lewis Parker getting 4 sacks, we totaled 9 sacks in this game. Our defense is going to go places. So hit subscribe, hit that like button. Next week, going up against Houston, a huge game. So let's go.